What's up, Marvel Snappers, and welcome to another Deck Tech video. Today we're having fun on my beta account, rocking the opponent and absolutely messing up their side of the board. The primary card that we're using for our rock strategy is Debris, who on reveal adds a rock to each location for both players. And this puts quite a lot of bodies on the board, and we have quite a few other things we can do to clog up the board further. But in the rock theme, we're also running Korg, who shuffles a rock into the opponent's deck, and Rock Slide, that shuffles 2 rocks into the opponent's deck. Now, these 2 cards aren't the strongest cards you could use in this archetype, but it's a lot of fun, and you get to call the deck Rock Lock. We also get to mess with an opponent's Lockjaw and Jubilee, and that is a fantastic feeling, having them play one of those high-value cards and pull only a rock. Rounding out our disruption strategy, we have the Hood, who's a 1-cost -2 power, but gives you the powerful 1-cost 6 power Demon, and we can combo that with Viper, who says on reveal, your opponent gains control of one of your other cards at this location. So this is a way for us to actually transfer that -2 power to our opponent and clog up a spot on their board. We're also able to use Green Goblin and Hobgoblin to do similar things, and between all of these cards, you end up restricting the places your opponent can play very heavily. We have Carnage to solve our problem if we get clogged up. If we can't transfer the Hood over, or we have too many rocks on our own side, Carnage can clean up the lane and get a bunch of power for us. We're running Daredevil because having Daredevil in play makes Hobgoblin incredibly powerful. So you know if they have 3 cards at a location, if they're filling it up or not. If they don't end up committing a card to that location on turn 5, Hobgoblin fills up that lane and typically wins that location for you with very little power investment. Since we're restricting our opponent's plays, we're also leveraging Goose, so nobody can play cards that cost 4, 5, or 6 at the location. If you already have a rock and a green goblin in that location, then Goose restricts the amount of power that they're reasonably able to put there and makes for a very easy location to win. We also have Mojo, since it's really easy to get the +6 power on this since we're clogging our opponent's board, and 8 power for 2 energy is an incredible way to win down a lockdown lane, and this gets under our Goose for a big power swing. And our Curve Topper is Leader. Once we have the opponent's board completely decimated, their only hope is to put a high power play in a location to win them the game, and Leader, as long as we're ahead or close to ahead in 2 of the locations, can duplicate that play of the opponent's and push us over the top, even though most of the other cards in the deck are pretty low power. Now, if you have cards like Black Widow or Polaris, they're fantastic inclusions in this kind of strategy. I only have 8 cards missing from my Pool 3 collection, and those 2 are in those missing 8. So for now, we're just gonna rock the opponent. Let's hop into some games. Alright, Wakandan Embassy makes our Hood less bad. We don't have Viper anyways, so let's just get that down on the board. Adelan's gonna make us shuffle. So let's get Daredevil down. It's a shame we'll lose the Demon, but I would like to get Debris down as well. The opponent has snapped. I don't know what they're gonna play this turn. Maybe Washington, D.C. is really good for them. We'll play Debris to Washington, D.C. so that the rocks don't get buffs. Okay, and they Lockjaw and Wasp into Odin. We assume they play here again. Oh, we have priority. Okay, we're going to Rock Slide. We're going to put 2 rocks into their deck before they Lockjaw and see if that works out for us. Oh, they didn't play into Lockjaw. Oh, they go with Jubilee. Rock, 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 rock. Ah, Wasp. I'll take it. Okay. And now we get to see with Daredevil where they're going to play. I feel like if we snap off Daredevil, they'll just retreat. But they snapped for us, so we'll at least get a couple cubes out of this game. Oh, they fill up the board. And we have priority again. So we're going to Green Goblin. Korg to get the rock into their deck for this Lockjaw rotation. And if this is the real Mysterio, they'll have 7, which this demon will bring us up over. Alright. Rock, 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 rock. Yeah! Get rock locked. Alright, and then we can leader, and no matter what they play here, we'll get a copy of it, and we should be good to go. Oh, they stay in. What did they play? 10 power Jane Foster, but we'll match that, and we win Washington, D.C. and Adeline. Fantastic. I love that interaction with Lockjaw and Jubilee. Let's hop into another one. Okay, first up is Mirror Dimension, so we don't really have any information to work with yet. For now, let's get their Daredevil down. We can't play into Crimson Cosmos, so to Mirror Dimension we go. Okay, and the on-reveal effects happen twice. Might end up being bad for us. We can't put Green Goblin into there. So let's go with Green Goblin into Mirror Dimension. We may have missed our chance on Goose. Maybe we should have played that earlier. Okay, they get to double Iron Fist, which is pretty ludicrous. But if we can draw Debris... Okay. We have a chance here. Let's get the Debris down. We're gonna clog up their board pretty bad. And they won't be able to Heimdall shift or do anything too impressive. We'll fill 2 of the 3 slots here, and both of these slots here. Assuming they played a Crimson Cosmos, now that it's turn 4 and they can. I'm willing to snap on this. Oh, and they just retreat. Dang. But yeah, we were going to wreck them. I'm really surprised that they retreated based on how strong that turn 3 was for them. Let's hop into another one. Alright, Elysium is pretty good for us. Reduce the cost of these cards by a lot. Kind of awkward with the Hobgoblin since we'll want it on turn 5, but we might be able to slot in a 1-cost card with it. For now, let's actually just hold these cards, see where our opponent starts committing. A little punished by the Iceman. But now we can Green Goblin. Ooh, and they Brood. So this is probably some kind of Cerebro deck, which the monster is going to mess with. So let's give them some rocks. Clog up their deck even further. Okay, they Cosmo and Armor. Okay, so maybe not Cerebro, since those were 3 power. Let's Daredevil, Goose, and Korg. Just get some power on the board, give him another rock. We'll be able to Hobgoblin, knowing if we're going to fill up this location or not. Okay, so they go with an Iron Man. I'm not sure why the Brood is in this deck, because a couple of ongoing cards makes you think maybe a Spectrum is coming. Ooh, but now we have Leader as well. So we should be in a pretty good spot. They can't play anything higher than 4 cost with Goose, because the Elysium will make the 4 cost cards 3 cost, which lets them get in under Goose. I feel like if we snap with Daredevil up... Ooh, okay, so that's bad for us. We definitely should have Hobgoblined last turn. I guess they kind of got a sense of what we were doing. That was a misplay on our part. We can copy their Blue Marvel. That might be the play. We're gonna have more power in these locations than them. So oh no, they can't Mystique with Cosmo. I think we're in the clear here. If they can give +4, it won't matter, because we'll lose in Elysium. So let's close up the tiebreaker a bit in Necrotia. Yeah, and the opponent just retreats. Leader coming in clutch there. We didn't even end up needing that Hobgoblin, although it definitely would have been right to just play that on turn 4. Especially considering the leader, we could have used Daredevil for that. But let's hop into another one. Alright, so first up is the Bifrost, which we're going to have to keep in mind. For now, we can just get the Korg down. And then, just in case this location is bad, let's play Daredevil to the Bifrost so we can for sure Viper Hood. Oh, this location's actually fantastic for us. So yeah, so let's Viper Hood. In fact, let's snap on them. They managed to finish their turn just in time, but... Okay, so they have the Apocalypse. If we can get our leader, we'll just be able to copy that. But we can Green Goblin Demon. They're very unlikely to cap out this location this turn with 2 cards. And then we'll be able to see with Daredevil if Hobgoblin just absolutely shuts them down. Alright. The Nexus is completely clogged for them. Alright, now we get to see where they're going to play. So we do have to fear a Hela, because they discarded a Magneto. So Debris might not be too hot into the Nexus. Leader would be a fantastic draw for the next turn. Actually, Mojo would be fantastic too. So we have a couple of really good draws. Rock Slide would be 6 power, but I don't want it to get pulled with the Magneto if they Hela. The opponent just passed. And then retreated. But you can see how clogging up their Nexus just really reduced their play options, and we had a pretty good shot at winning that one. Alright, first up is Shuri's Lab, which is kind of awkward for us, although we can give them a -4 power hood. And then Viper that over to them, and clog up another location with a debris. And the Demon's pretty good into Shuri's Lab as well. Ooh. Might have actually been nice to have the hood for Bar with no name, but we'll stick with this game plan for now. Alright, so they Angela. I think this is strong enough for us to snap. Hopefully they don't retreat. Okay, ooh, and they Cosmo. So let's just get some power into Shuri's Lab. We'll give them the rocks as well. Demon can always go into Shadowland. It's a shame we can't Carnage anymore, or Hobgoblin here. It would have been nice to have Daredevil, because it's a little too risky to Hobgoblin next turn. Okay, yeah, they just fill up the location. Ooh, with Killmonger. Ooh. Okay, so we get a little punished for snapping. Ooh, which means Hobgoblin is live in Shuri's Lab, though. So, let's give that a go. Nice, yeah, they only play one card, so have your -16 power Hobgoblin. They Shang-Chi us, but now they only have 2 power. We're basically guaranteed to win the tiebreaker here. We even get to Mojo for the most power possible. We're basically just hoping they don't have a way to get into Bar with no name. Let's get the Carnage down 2 for the tiebreaker. Yeah, and the opponent retreats. They countered our rocks, but the Goblins got the job done. I hope you enjoyed the games and got to see the power of rocks. It is so much fun to disrupt the opponent's board, making it so difficult for them to get their strategy together, especially the cards that require you to play a bunch of stuff to location, like Wong or Lockjaw. You can just completely shut down your opponent and frustrate them in the process. As always, if you have any questions or feedback for me, make sure to leave those in the comment sections below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.